CR101radio.com, podcasts, and more.
Are we appropriating funds for nonsense? This is R.J. Rushdoony with a report on our threatened freedom. In recent years, Senator Proxmire has called attention to various absurdities for which federal funds are regularly appropriated. Tip O'Neill, Speaker of the House, earlier this year reported on some of the strange things he had written into the budget. O'Neill said, and I quote, "Once a doctor came down here to talk to us. He said the average dwarf grows only 46 inches high, and if we appropriated $45 million for research, maybe that could be increased to 52 inches. So I got the $45 million into the budget," unquote. Now, perhaps, if you and I were dwarfs, we might want to be 6 inches taller. But would we be justified in asking Congress for funds to study the problem? Millions of American men are growing bald. Is it the duty of Congress to appropriate funds for hair-growing research? Some women are very upset about being flat-chested. Should we appropriate millions of dollars to research the subject? Wouldn't it be cheaper to suggest that they look for men who prefer flat-chested women, as some do? In other words, why tax our fellow citizens for our problems? Why make purely personal concerns the subject of national legislation and taxation? Of course, many of these appropriations are sought by the scientific establishment as a means of providing them with research funds and facilities. It was, after all, not the dwarfs, but a doctor who approached O'Neill for funding research on the matter. Most likely, the major beneficiary of the research will be the scientific establishment, as is usually the case. Not surprisingly, there is a growing distrust of the scientific establishment because of its plundering of the public treasury for a vast variety of sometimes trifling causes. Of course, funding scientific research is a part of our national elitism. Together with this funding of research, we have the funding of the arts because we have decided that culture, defined as the arts, is important. Why not then fund baseball and make millions of Americans happy, or football and sports on television? Films and television are an important aspect of popular culture. Why not fund them through congressional appropriations? Or better, why not stop funding all of them and let the private sector fund whatever it wishes to see prosper? Why should we not have a freedom from conscripted and compulsory support for causes of no concern to us, or hostile to our own interests and ideas? Why not try freedom? This has been R.J. Rushdoony with a report on our threatened freedom.